All right, so I am back to doing art and it's going really well. So I thought I'd show some of the creative process. This I drew a long time ago, and I love these two characters, but I just colored them in and makes them look way cooler. Gonna probably do a 3D version of that. This I also did a long time ago. I'm just coloring a lot. I am used to just doing black and white, but I found that I need color. Um, and it really does trigger creative stimulation. So if you're ever having creative block, I would just suggest start coloring stuff. Um, this I really like, but it's kind of messy. So this is what I do a lot. I do a lot of tracing, and it's really great. One of the great things about tracing is you don't really have to be feeling creative to do it. You can just take something you already did when you were creative. But what I really want to show off is this. Not this, but what I did with this. It looked a lot better before I added like white out and color. I kind of messed it up. But friend of a friend saw this in its original state and he loved it. And he said he would pay $200 for something similar. So this is the new version. And I think it's really cool. So I am going to add some color. If I can find my colored pencils. Here we go. The sun is obnoxiously bright, but that's probably because it's the only color so far. So, you know, one of the interesting things about trees is it's like they're supposed to be brown, and some trees are brown, but most of them are more of a gray color. So I'm gonna have muted browns and maybe add some more dense color. You know, it's interesting. I drew this guy and I was like, what should he be holding? And I said a net for catching fish because I used to do that a lot. And so then I decided to add, I don't really like the aquarium. I might get rid of that. But I decided to put water down here with roots going into it. It reminds me of the Shenandoah River and my love for roots. And it turned into a fish theme. So this is a hippie on a fishing boat with a net. And so what I really think that the symbolism that I wasn't trying to do is sort of from the Bible, you know? So, yeah. And I rarely have any real message or symbolism that I'm trying to create, but it just comes out. And that's kind of a cool thing. Like usually I don't know what it represents until somebody looks at it and they're like, "Whoa, that's you know, this character is you and this represents, you know, something that you're afraid of and this is like the mountain of hope, you know, stuff like that." And So anyway, I decided to make this sort of dragon dinosaur character. A little bit like more human-esque. I actually really like drawing sort of reptilian characters that are, you know, intelligent and stuff like that. So I also draw a lot of amphibian-esque characters. So and there's that. I don't know what to color these, and I don't know what to color him. I think he's going to be a bit brown. I want to make it bright and cheerful, but you can't make everything bright. I mean, you can. I mean, Van Gogh did it, but like my thought is you want to be able to draw attention to certain areas. So you don't want to make everything try to stand out, because if everything stands out, then nothing does. Which reminds me of why I dislike a lot of the designs for dragons in things like D&D. And the reason is because they try to make the dragons as like cool as possible by having like these massive like spikes and ornaments, and it's like, no. You gotta save that, you know? Try to make it feel real. One time I said that like I try to make my dragons look realistic, and somebody was like, haha, that's ridiculous. I mean, he was being nice about it, but he was like, dragons aren't real, so you can't make them realistic. No, you can't. You can make them look like they're real physical creatures. And so one thing that I have done to make my dragons look more real is I actually look up pictures of lizards and crocodiles and things like that to get scaling patterns that look like the way real reptiles. But this is not one of those. This is just more of a stylized guy. And probably add a little green here. A little bluish green. I like bluish green. I can't say I have a favorite color because it depends on the context. You know, blue looks good in some stuff and red looks good in others. But I like green because it reminds me of like life and plants and stuff like that. Here's an interesting thing. One trick that like cold reading magicians do, like where they like read a crowd and they like predict things, is they when they tell them to think of a color, they just assume it's blue, because like blue is like everybody's favorite color. It's like 3/4 of people like blue. And I was looking at the sky yesterday, and might sound strange, but I looked up at it and I thought, you know, there are probably other planets with aliens on them, and they might not have a blue sky. They might have an atmosphere, but they got like a dark black sky, or where it's always covered in clouds of methane gas. And if you told them, you know, there's a planet where like the sky is just like blue, like that's just the color of it, they'd be like, what? It'd be like if, you know. So it's really good to like look for the wonder in ordinary things. So the person I'm making this for said he wanted a picture where the more you look at it, the more you see, and you get up close to it, and I think I'm succeeding with that. So I'm gonna move on from that, and let's work on this. I am trying to, I'm more of like my art is more about like curves and organic shapes. So, I don't draw buildings or architecture a lot, but I'm trying to do that more. And I did notice that when my creative block lifted, I found myself drawing just like a lot of really orderly geometric shapes, which is not my favorite style, but I was really glad because that kind of helps even out my art, add a little bit of extra. Okay, so I can't hold my camera and draw on that, so I'm not going to worry about that. But let's see, what else do I have? The thing about poster board is I realized that, like, I used to draw on sketchbooks, and I still do, and then I would like then take the drawing and then like try to put it on a poster board. But it's better to just start with the poster board because it's just as easy as a sketchbook, but it makes it more epic. So look at that. Oh, this is really cool. I have never drawn this style, sort of like spaghetti or wires or something, but it's a bird. It looks a little bit like a penguin, but anyway. So this I definitely overdid, which I tend to do. You know, you add too much color. Whiteout is a really great medium, but it didn't really work here. So, but the hands are pretty cool. It was cooler though. So, I really like this. Definitely Giger inspired, you know, kind of a face hugger, kind of the mechanical aspect of aliens and the ships. Sort of a stained glass window effect. This lizard creature, for some reason, I looked at it and I said, it's a female lizard, and she's like a very maternal figure, and she's like watching over. So there's monsters down here, but she's watching over things. And I don't know what this little guy is. He's like holding like a hammer, I think, because he's got like work to do. And I think he's going to work on this guy. He's little, but he's not scared. So that's kind of symbolic. And this video is getting kind of long, but I don't care. Where are my scissors? All right, so I don't have a computer, because if I did, I could just, or a stand for my phone, because if I did, I could just leave it there and it would be a little less chaotic. But let's bring out the X-Acto knife, because X-Acto knives, I didn't really discover them until maybe 3 years ago, and they're a lot of fun. But anyway, I won't try to show cutting that out. This is the template for a skateboard design. And I'm going to make one that is kick-ass. I'm going to put Treebeard on it probably. Maybe lots of eyes, maybe a tree. Maybe something DMT inspired. DMT has had a huge influence on my art. Ever since I did it in 2013, I've become obsessed with drawing eyes. So, this was inspired by some altered states, as a lot of my art is. And yeah, I was just gonna like show off the piece that I was making, but like, why the hell not go through my art? And I'm just freestyling this, talking about my life, sharing. I forgot about this completely. These are all my notes on my UFO UAP research. And I'm not into it anymore, because I basically like looked into it as much as I really wanted to. But we got the Tic Tac. Notes on their traits and the UAP report. That was a lot of fun. Shenandoah roots. More of that. No Man's Land. I really like drawing rabbits, and I also like drawing wizards. And I thought it was fun to call them a lagomorph, because rabbits are actually, I forget the Cladistics family, genus or whatever, but they are not rodents, they are lagomorphs, along with pikas, South American cavies, and some other critters, but rabbits are the most common. And I like the word lagomorphs. I'm just going to color him a bit while I'm at it. The Blue Wizard. He is a gardener. And rabbits or hares in Native American and other cultures are tricksters. That is their role. And the trickster is actually the archetype that I identify most with. That's part of being a comedian. Comedians tend to be tricksters. And oh, I like that. I'd completely forgotten about so much of this. That's kick-ass. Love that eye with those trees. I feel like I'm looking at this for the first time. Love drawing trees. And especially roots. To me, it's not about the branches, it's about the roots. I love roots. I actually photograph roots. He's creepy. I don't like him. He's kind of cute. I don't know what that book he's holding, but... So, yeah, instead of just posting pictures, I think it's more fun to make a video. It's more fun. Dude, that's a cool dragon. I like that. I like the colors. I like to really vary the color of my dragons. You know, it's interesting. I remember growing up, the standard color of dragons was green. And now it's not. They tend to be more like red. Could be inspired by Stegosaurus. Here's an interesting fact about the Stegosaurus. In terms of time, T-Rex was in the Cretaceous, and I think Stegosaurus were in the Jurassic. We are actually closer in time to Tyrannosaurus than Tyrannosaurus were to Stegosaurus, which kind of shows you just how long life's been going on in the Earth. Deep time and deep space, I've heard people say, are one of the most difficult things for a human mind to grasp, and I believe it. This is my hippie uncle. He was a character. And I don't know, this video is a little bit long, but this guy I think is hilarious. He's I forget what I named him, but he's cool. Anyway, oh cool, I've got more. Gnome. Oh, that one's cool. So is that. And back to this guy. I think he deserves a name. He's a sentient being from another planet. Or he is a creature that lives on another dimension deep within the earth. Yeah. psilocybin realm, I'd call it. Or anyway, so that's all my art.